And here we are, yet again, on Halloween no less. Happy Halloween to everyone, and happy All Saints Day tomorrow, and All Souls Day on Monday. We are here yet again at the Philosophy Pop-Up Workshop. If you are interested in what we're doing, please subscribe. Please look at YouTube or the Facebook page or the Facebook page. And here we go. This evening is going to be exclusively political. It is going to be addressed to Mr. Joe Biden. There are going to be two parts to it. I'm going to do the addendum to what we did on the 23rd, this past Friday, which is the last video, 8 days ago. Mr. Biden, I said a great deal about the situation here on Nantucket, in part because of my own experience and my own observations here, and in part because of your connections. I want to go far, far beyond that this evening and mention that something needs to be done post-haste about the national situation. We need absolute reform. What transpires is, I would say, barbaric. We need to change things immediately. We need to look at the Finns, for example, who, no questions asked, simply use federal money to buy up spaces and house people, get them housed, and then start working on whatever underlying factors there are. Or, of course, in some cases, in many cases, factors that are not actually underlying, but have been caused, or at the very least exacerbated by this condition of homelessness. The Finns do that. The world needs to look to that. And what people don't think about is how much money would be saved in other areas if you simply give people housing. Give them the option of having housing. There are many people, or some people, who are not going to want it, or are not going to be able to do that with immediate effect for psychological reasons. But let us put that aside. What needs to be done is for a great deal of federal resource to go to this. The states are trying. Look at California. The states are trying. We need federal money, and we need this to be an absolutely essential, critical emergency reaction. And on top of the normal situation, where we have had over 500,000 people homeless, with COVID, that has been exacerbated. And who knows what the numbers will be. I mean, there's a staggered effect, and there are many people who had eviction amnesties. A lot of that has burned up. Let us look at the statistics in the next few months. So, this is a national issue. On top of everything else, we have a situation since the last crack in 2008, which, by the way, of course, was avoidable. We've had many tens of thousands of properties in the United States bought up by these LLCs, including one, which is, we have our present Secretary of the Treasury, Mr. Steve Mnuchin, if I pronounce his name correctly. He and his business cronies own Wedgewood LLC. I would recommend that everyone take a look at that. My understanding is most of those properties are in Florida. We have very similar things going on the West Coast. If you look at Oakland, where there's been a lot of action on this and a lot of national focus, if people have been paying attention, and this is prior to COVID, you had many empty apartments in Oakland, California. In fact, I think thousands of them. And you saw squatters. You saw the organization. It's called Moms for Housing. The number 4, Moms for Housing. An advocacy group. In the short term, they lost. They got evicted, but at least it got into the national consciousness for anybody who was paying attention. We need to change things fundamentally in this great culture of 330 million people. Okay, I'm going to have to cut it. I'm going to have to cut that because of time, and then I have one other thing, very short, very much to the point. Mr. Biden, if you win the presidency, it is utterly imperative, with equal weight, with equal emphasis, that you appoint Senator Sanders and Senator Warren to 2 of your most important cabinet positions. That is utterly imperative. And I say with equal weight. And that is it. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. In English, that would be Samhain. And all the best to everyone on Nantucket, in Massachusetts, in New England, in the United States, in North America, in the Americas, in the world, on the planet. And let us hope for the better and work toward it. All the best. God bless. Happy Halloween.